There are 5 levels of change. Okay, so let's think about this for a moment. It's January, beginning of a new year. People create resolutions in hopes and aspirations of creating a new identity. There's so many ways to create a new identity that they're infinite, actually. And we need to stick with these guidelines on the elements of change, because as we change, we evolve and our identity changes to what we want to accomplish. Every January, you see it. I have been a trainer for 20 plus years now, and I get in the gym in January, and you can identify the ones that are trying to make a New Year's resolution stick, but it doesn't stick because they haven't created the identity. They haven't gone through the levels of change to make it stick. So what do we do? What do we do, Kathie? Today, I have your answer. Let's go through the 5 levels of change. Number 1 is behavior. How do you adjust your behavior to fix what you want? This is what you see in the gym. You see these people coming in there. They're trying to adjust their behavior, but it's a forced thing. And what happens is they come in, they go, hey, Kathie, I want to start working out. I want to get back on my fitness routine, and they stick with it for a week, maybe 2. Usually they fall off the wagon by the end of the 3rd week. They are gone. Everybody's gone. And that's trying to force the behavior. Oh, let's go talk about power versus force, because we are not going to force the behavior to change. We need to take power. But where does that come from? It comes later in the stages of change. Number 2 is environment. How do you change your environment? Well, they joined a gym. They said, hey, I'm going to get in the gym. Great idea, but you're not picking up on the elements that you could use to your advantage. For example, thought quality. I'm always talking about this. Thought quality, if you stay consistent and you stay in the gym, which is the hard thing to do by just changing your behaviors and changing your environment. It has to do with the quality of your thinking, and you can catch other people's high quality thoughts in the gym in the morning. The ones that are consistent, they are thinking these thoughts. They're pendulums. Of course, they're pendulums. You get on it in the gym and you catch it. Awesome. That's great. You've changed your behavior. You've changed your environment. What's next, Kathie? Number 3, change your beliefs. Reality Transurfing has a belief system set in it that's really awesome. And it says, my world is always taking care of me. My world is always taking care of me. But people who are forcing things cannot see it that way. If you've looked at my content over the last week, I've talked about toxic positivity and why people view it as toxic. It's because they're going through the stages of grief, and you have to go through the stages of grief before you can view positivity as not toxic, because the stages of grief are all down in force. They're all in force. Look at anger. It's in force. To get to power, you have to change your belief system. How do you do that? Well, you start believing my world is always taking care of me, even at the worst of circumstances. And to be honest with you, I think this is why my belief systems are so strong and so not in victim, but in power, that I was able to look at this 2020 pandemic totally different from others, because I have been through some bad things. But those bad things brought me to this realization and this belief that my world was always taking care of me. talk about that more in another video. Be sure to subscribe and like and follow and even subscribe to my email list, because if you subscribe to my email list, you'll be aware of any content that I update and come out with. Values is the next stage. We're at stage 4. So values, what are your values? Where do they come into play? And how are they affecting what's going through your levels of change? Do you value victimhood? A person who is stuck in the levels of force values victimhood. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to look at my world is taking care of me in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of their whole world falling apart, because they believe that this is the way it should be. Remember, don't should. Should is a dirty word. However, there's nothing wrong. Don't shame yourself either. Shame is a dirty word too. Don't shame yourself for being in force. That will never get you to power. To get to power, you have to identify your limiting beliefs and overcome them and see, oh, I was thinking like a victim. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to go to any parties. My graduation's gonna suck this year because I don't get a ceremony, blah, blah, blah. There are people out there that believe that, hey, it's just a graduation day. It's just a party. I'll have many more, or I've had many in the past, and it's just a day. And if you live in the present moment, you don't live in victimhood, because you're going, okay, everything is taking care of me right now in this moment. And so level 5 goes into identity. That's the concrete section of change. That is how you change, just by becoming aware and saying these 2 words before you say anything. When you say I am, that becomes your identity. So try to realize when you're saying I am tired, I am exhausted, I am feeling sick, I am lost. When you say those words, it becomes your reality. You have to also believe them, so you got to go back to the beliefs and overcome limiting beliefs. When you say, I am tired, where's your limiting belief in there? What happened to make you tired, to make you run down? Overcome those limiting beliefs, get some rest, take care of yourself, self-care, then try to revise that I am. I am awesome. I am working hard to get what I want to achieve. Whatever it comes out to be. Working hard, that was even a limiting belief in there as well. So here, let's talk about this real quick. What is your first thought of the day? Be sure to start thinking about that, because in my next video, next week, we are going to discuss very first thought of it. Watch my content, be reading it, be studying it, because that is where I'm coming from. That's where I'm going to start identifying things. I'm going to start talking about limiting beliefs and overcoming them. So I hope you liked today's video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. Be sure to check the links in the description below, because there's all kind of goodies in there. And if you're listening on the podcast, be sure to check the show notes, because there's all kinds of good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you next time. Peace out and namaste.